Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and Patreon and anything else I usually go about on Twitter X. Later today, we'll have another Death Stranding episode. At the time of recording this gaming news, I basically almost finished. I think I finished the main story of Death Stranding. At least that's my assumption. I will record at least one or two episodes to wrap up things that I left to wrap up on the game itself. But yeah, very Kojima-like in terms of the story plot twist there by the end. But I really did enjoy that, and hopefully that's something to will come to PC even this year, so I can continue playing this game. Other than that, we got complete the gameplay series here. Everything is on the main page of the channel here. So let's go to some news. Similarly, there is again. I don't think this applies too much out of the. I think the Chinese market per se, which is supposedly a tool which is called Windows Reinstall Master, which basically is a scam software. And at this moment, it seems that again they lock the computer until you pay uh, $13 fee to unlock the PC. Again, I assuming normal people might think that this is some kind of service fee from the software itself, and because the supposed fee is kind of so low, again, $13 to $15, I don't think it's going to hurt too much the wallet of I don't know normal people, normies that not are not aware how Windows installs work and all that jazz. But yeah, this is a scam. I think there are some services that provide this kind of thing, but supposedly you pay upfront. I think there's something with Lenovo that kind of does this fee, which is Lenovo's official reinstallation fees. But I think that again, it's a little bit shady the way it works. But any kind of savvy person that I don't know. Again, I do all the installs and all all the maintenance in terms of software on my computer. So it's a little bit. I might be a small percentage of people in the world that might know how to get around this. But again, with a, USB pen with some image there, and as long as you have the key, it's something very easy to do to reinstall the Windows, a fresh install. But yeah, be aware that don't ever go for a kind of any kind of tool that calls itself Windows Reinstall Master, or any kind of variation of that. That basically you will be rolled up in the scam, and the fact that also this kind of software usually installs not only bloatware, but probably I assume this has some kind of remote installation procedure, which basically gives any the person that is on the other side complete access to your PC. So again, that there's added problem there. At least that's my perception of how these things will work. Given that you again, if you are locked out, and supposedly when you pay this fee per se, then you can get remoted unlocked your PC. It just shows that your PC is compromised in all ways. Plus the fact that you got a lot of junk software also, and again, I assume malware and all that jazz. So please be aware. If you're not a very savvy person in terms of reinstalling Windows and dealing with the Windows installations, all that jazz, just it's better to ask a friend, or go if you need to pay, at least go to a software shop or a hardware shop that can provide this kind of services, and pay them instead of just going about and doing something that you might regret later, specifically in terms of privacy. But yeah, pay attention. Again, there is a lot of scams on the internet. Then you got some deals. I think, again, this is from Newegg, which this deal itself is very interesting. A 7800 X3D for below $400 with a bundle of a 1 TB SSD. Again, the terabyte SSD seems pretty decent, like a normal one, but the interesting thing here is the CPU itself. Just pay attention that if you go for this deal, this CPU itself doesn't have a cooler bundled with it, so you need to buy a cooler on the side. But again, the price itself is pretty good, given that I think the MSRP hovers around $400 above that, and the fact that is at this moment 370 with SSD, 1 TB SSD seems to be a pretty good deal. Again, this CPU itself performs a little bit around 7 to 10% slower than the 9800 X3D, but then again, these X3D chips are pretty good on on gaming specifically. And again, I only recommend buying, spending this money on a CPU if you already have planned within the budget, or if you already have a high-end GPU to pair with this one. Other than that, I think even I think there are good deals on, for example, the 9600X, which is a pretty good one, or even in Zen 4, which is the one that I have, which is a 7700X. It's pretty good. Usually on performance charts, it ranks on the above the middle of the charts. So I think it's a pretty good one, also for gaming. But yeah, there is a lot of sales here in Newegg on the American market. I think Micro Center also always have some bundles here and there. But yeah, it's good to see that we got a good CPU at a cheaper price there. Got then I remember seeing some news here regarding the Nvidia, what they call the Spark mini computer or mini supercomputer. Again, the Nvidia is just doing everything. Again, supposedly, again, this is first party things in terms of performance and pricing. Supposedly delivers 1,000 tops of AI power by costing $4,000. Again, I'm not too much in AI stuff there. I don't know what 1,000 tops can do. Again, I don't think this is to try and cater to a normal person that has a PC, or even to a freelancer. I think the only good case scenario here to use this is like very small companies, or average medium company, or even if you're a freelancer that just uses this for work to gain some money, it might compensate. But again, $4,000 is a lot of money, and we still don't have any no specification, sorry, regarding this chip. The only thing that supposedly that it is known is a Grace Blackwell super chip. Again, there is no specifics regarding this. Even Nvidia decided to deliver this supposedly super mini PC to AIBs like ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte. In even them don't have, or they don't have, or they don't are providing any kind of specifics regarding the hardware here, which is very a lot of red flags here. As you can see here on the article, specifics on the computer are unknown. Again, they are not known completely when it comes to performance of the device, but it seems that this will be something worthy. Again, I think this is a lot of a hype, trying to build some hype for this. We got some images here. Again, I don't know what this $4,000 hardware can do. I think it can be a complementary stuff there. I think this is Oculink or something like that. I don't know what kind of connections are these. I assume you can connect this to a PC and basically have an hardware piece that just provides AI workloads. Again, I'm not sure. But even on the DIY market, there are some decent GPUs from AMD, even from Nvidia, that are a little bit cheaper and they can handle LLM workloads. Again, this is I don't know. They just throwing the remainings of what they are not selling, or like chips that doesn't pass the benchmark to sell to big companies, and I think they have enough to try and sell for $4,000 there. Again, I'm not very excited for this. Again, it seems specific to AI workloads, so don't expect any kind of mini PC to play games. At least it doesn't seem that way. I think this is mostly focused on AI stuff there. In terms of games, I've been seeing some rumblings regarding Bethesda working, or projects being on the work regarding Fallout IP. Supposedly, again, this is rumors. Supposedly there is a Fallout 3 remaster, which this project specifically was originally discovered during the Microsoft versus FTC trial regarding the acquisition itself. Another project that could also be on the works, Fallout New Vegas or remaster. Again, I don't know what they can do there to improve there. The engine itself, I don't think will bring that much of an improvement regarding a remaster, unless maybe they can bring something new if it was remade. I don't know, Unreal Engine 5 or something like that. I don't know. But given that Oblivion was remastered in Unreal Engine 5, but then again, open world games, specifically on the size, for example, of Fallout 3 or even New Vegas, the size of the maps are huge. Also, I don't know how that will behave in terms of the Unreal Engine 5 if it's going to be remastered in that sense. Then here on this interview that somebody did, one of the guys that supposedly is in the know, talk about the Fallout 5 again. Fallout 4, you got Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 was the latest ones. Fallout 76 seems to be improved a little bit from at least what it's supposed to be. It's improved a little bit. Again, I'm not sure in terms of sales. I think it sold a little bit better than in the later years than when it came out, because it was a shit show when it launched. Fallout 4 seems to be very bland in terms specifically of the story there. Tries to give you a good hook on the story, but it seems to cater off, and even in terms of the overall mechanics and gameplay systems is not I don't know, revolutionary comparing with Fallout 3 or even Fallout New Vegas. Even Fallout 3, the story itself is not the thing that you play for. But yeah, Fallout 5, I don't know. I think Bethesda has a huge problem, specifically after the launch of Starfield. It was a letdown, at least on the promises that they were making. And I think it's the engine. The one of the big issues regarding Bethesda is the engine that they are using. It's very limited. Even for example, a game like Starfield, which supposedly is like an open world galaxy no universe basically, and it's a loading screen fast. Again, doesn't seem to handle a lot of the things that they were proposing what the game should be. And I'm not sure if Fallout 5 or even the Elder Scrolls 6, which is the next big game that will come out from Bethesda, will cater to any of those limited. I think it will be limited also by the engine itself, unless they do a huge revolutionary thing with the engine itself. I don't see the game being very well received. I think the only thing they can compensate that is with a good story, refined mechanics from the Elder Scrolls there, because even again, I don't see huge hype or expectations regarding the what Bethesda is cooking in their kitchen. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what this is regarding Fallout IP stuff. Again, supposedly the season 2 of the Fallout TV show, it's wrapped. I'm not sure. I don't follow too much that part of the TV series. I'm not sure if they're trying to coincide any kind of remaster with the launch or a roundabout there with the second season of Fallout TV show. Again, there is a lot of rumors, a lot of supposedly inside information that people want to throw out to see if something sticks. But yeah, I'm not sure about this. Hopefully, it is a good game when it comes out, and also that the remasters. If the remasters are handled pretty well, I think it could be a win for Bethesda to again get some hype for the upcoming games that are not remasters there. And then last we got a little tidbit here. Supposedly, given that Naughty Dog doesn't know how to do games, they're experimenting at this again with The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. There's going to be a new mode that you can play the game, which is called the chronological update gameplay, whatever it is. Supposedly, it is instead because the story is not linear on The Last of Us Part 2. I think you play it till the half of the game a little more with Ellie than with the other one, Abby, I think. and then there is like in the middle of the game per se that there is a mix and matching, and then you play more with Abby on the second half of the game. At least that's my perception there. That there is some switcheroos in terms of perspective here and there. But here, supposedly with this mode, you play on the timeline in terms of chronological order. So I assume there's going to be a lot of switching around, specifically on the middle part of the game, when I think Ellie reaches where the city where Abby is, or the settlement where Abby supposedly lives, and there's going to be a lot of switch around there, I assume. Again, because probably a lot of people are not smart enough to understand the story there, how it was originally intended to be told, supposedly. Again, I watched the gameplay series at the time when The Last of Us Part 2 came out. Again, the story is very convoluted. I understand at the beginning it seems pretty interesting, the setup, even with the what they tried to do with Joel there, killing Joel, to make it a revenge story, but the way they went about it, the execution is very poor. The justifications, okay, we can try and weave some excuses here and there, but the execution was very poorly made. And then a lot of the themes that tried to approach like secondary themes of the woke stuff, as we can say, didn't fit in any way, at least how the world is set up in the first game. There is a loss of the hook of the first game, which is the father daughter kind of relationship that Joel and Ellie has. It is completely lost there. The fact that there is that revenge, and then by the end there is no revenge done, and to see to a certain degree the consequences of that, it's a little bit watered down there again. But suppose now you can play it in a chronological order of events throughout the second game. Again, they are trying to boost sales until the other game that supposedly Neil Druckmann is working on, the erratic prophetic, whatever it's called, the shaved girl, the shaved head girl thingy there, with a lot of marketing placement. I don't know. I think the Naughty Dog is finished in terms of prestige. I think the last game that they did probably that was good. I don't know which. No, it was Uncharted 4. Even that, I watched the gameplay series on that one. Even the story is okayish. It tries to wrap up the Nathan Drake story. I think it was the last decent game that they came up with. Yeah, it's sad to see that the studios that had some good pedigree in terms of building some good games. Again, it has to do with the fact that the partner that one of the co-founders of Naughty Dog just went away, plus Amy Hennig that write a lot of stuff for Uncharted. Again, those already went off for other adventures from Naughty Dog, and I think that's why, given that Neil Druckmann, his ego gets itself in the way of thinking and making a good game. Yeah, it's a shame. But what can we expect for people that they want to reflect their own experiences instead of trying to tell a decent story that might be that might relate to the other broader audience. But again, self insertions and all that jazz usually doesn't work that well in a work of art. But yeah, this is what I got in terms of news. Let's go for some game deals. We got kind of the last 24 hours or so for the summer sale to end up. So it will wrap up in around 30 hours or so. So I got some gaming deals, mainly from my gaming library. This one seems to be a pretty good one. Plague Tale Innocence. I still have to play this game. We'll see when I can start playing this game and probably do a gaming series on this one. But yeah, 80% off. Then we got the sequel, Plague Tale Requiem, on a bundle or even for sale by its own. I will leave both of the Steam pages on the description below. We got Alien Isolation, excellent game. I did a gaming series on this one way back in the day. I think it still holds up. And it's 75% off. I do recommend it. If you're curious about it, you can check out the first couple episodes to have an idea of what this game is about. We got the Batman Arkham Collection, again, the trilogy, including Arkham Knight, plus all the DLC associated with the games there. Again, a pretty solid trilogy. I didn't play Arkham Knight because at the time when it came to PC it was a shit show. So it's still there for me to one of these days buy the game and play it by myself. We got Control. This is Ultimate Edition. I played this game by myself. I really did enjoy the game. The expansions are pretty good. They delve deep a little bit more on the lore of Control per se, and also the connection between Alan Wake and this game here. Pretty good game. I do recommend it, especially at this price point. Very cheap. We got Death Stranding Director's Cut. Again, it's the game that I'm currently publishing in terms of gaming series. I do recommend it. I basically wrapped up the main story, at least that's the perception that I got. And I do recommend it fully on this one. Again, I'm doing a gameplay series if you want to check it out. Again, this is not only just a kind of walking simulator. There is a lot of systems incorporated there, and the themes that Kojima produces here are pretty good and interesting. Then you got Deus Ex Human Revolution. This is the director's cut. I do recommend this one, 85% off. I will eventually do a series on this one for sure, one of these days when I have time. And also the sequel, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, pretty good one from what I played. I didn't finish up the game, but I did play a chunk a while ago. And I did enjoy what I played there. Again, 85% off. Again, a good deal there. Got Jusant. I already did a series on this one. I fully recommend it at this price point. If you're curious about it, you can check out the first episode to have an idea what the game is about there. Same thing can be said for Planet of Lana, 75% off. Again, you can check out the first couple episodes. We got The Evil Within. Again, same thing. I already did a gaming series on this one, 75% off. And then the sequel, The Evil Within 2, which I also did a gaming series more recently in 4K. I can recommend both of them at this price point for sure. Very interesting kind of lore and setup that they did here with this IP. Hopefully, one of these days we can get something interesting coming from Tango Gameworks, given that they were revived after they've been shut down from Bethesda or Xbox at this case. Then you got Tomb Raider. This is a solid trilogy, at least from the two games that I played. I still need to play Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is the third. But again, it seems to be a pretty solid trilogy. Hopefully, the conclusion is, or at least at the same level that the first two. But yeah, I do recommend this trilogy at this price point for sure. And then last we got XCOM 2. Again, almost 500 hours that I put in this game. Several mods that I used here and there. I made a series on this one with some mods here and there. I didn't manage to finish up the run there. I completely died in the middle of going through that thing there. But yeah, I always have some fun. And I will resume the XCOM series one of these days for sure when I have time. But yeah, at this price point, I do recommend XCOM 2 Collection. So with all the DLCs there, it's pretty cheap at this point in time, mainly because of the mod support. You really need to get all of the DLC and extra content, so the mod support is on par there. I don't understand. XCOM 2 and XCOM Chimera Squad, they've been a little bit mixed lately. I don't know what's happened there. Again, the game it's more than proven to be pretty good. I really don't understand. I don't know if it has anything to do with 2K or something like that. But yeah, I do recommend this game. But yeah, with all that said, I will wrap up here with the Pokemon Patreon as usual for extra support. Again, the extra support is more in line for me to try and get a better storage solution for everything that I do, from my clients to having more space for the videos that I do for the channel. And yeah, with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.